years The Undertaker has been in WWE, and whether he was wrestling under the persona of a Western mortician, a dead man, Lord of the Darkness, a cult leader, an American badass, only to go full circle back to the dead man, it's rare you will ever see The Undertaker out of character on WWE television. You see, unlike today, there was a time that kayfabe was taken very seriously, and even off WWE cameras, The Undertaker would still be in character. Of course he didn't go to sleep in a coffin or wear leather to bed, as far as we know, but there have been rare instances where the Phenom has been featured on camera totally out of character. In this video we look at 10 rare moments The Undertaker broke character on camera. Number 1. Singing Happy Birthday to Frank. Believe it or not, we've heard The Undertaker sing on WWF television before. Back in the 90s, the idea of paying outrageous amounts of money for phone calls or hotlines for wrestling news or pre-recorded messages was actually seen as good business. The WWF got into the act with its WWF Greetings on Call, which featured pre-recorded messages from a number of popular wrestlers at the time. If you happen to have picked The Undertaker, you would probably be greeted by the best birthday greeting in history.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Helen.
Now, that was clearly sung in character, but there was a moment during his American badass phase, Taker picked up a mic to sing Happy Birthday in front of a live SmackDown crowd after announcing it was WWE ring crew member Frank's birthday. Taker was joined by both Rikishi and Brock Lesnar, giving Frank possibly the best birthday gift ever until a cake was delivered right into his face together with Rikishi's size 58 butt cheek. Number 2. Paying respect to Ric Flair. To protect his status as one of WWE's most mysterious character, the WWE, along with Taker himself, prefer if Taker is not present during a sentimental moment. However, when Ric Flair announced his retirement from wrestling back in 2008, The Undertaker, who was fully immersed in his dead man character, came out to give his farewell to one of wrestling's greatest. The appearance happened after Raw went off the air, but cameras were still rolling enough to capture the moment. It was teased that The Undertaker would come out and give his final farewell completely under character. However, as soon as The Undertaker entered the ring, he dropped the act, and in a rare emotional moment, he shook his hand and hugged the 16-time world champion goodbye as tears flowed down his face. Taker then proceeded to go back into character, giving his trademark pose, but turning it into a respectful bow, which was followed with an applause. It was a touching moment that many wrestling fans will cherish for a lifetime. Number 3. His final match. Over the last 2 or 3 years, fans have speculated whether The Undertaker would be close to retiring. Many assumed it would be when his WrestleMania streak was broken at WrestleMania 30, which would have been a fitting exit. Nevertheless, The Undertaker has since appeared in a handful of matches, still being able to go 90% of the time. However, at last year's Royal Rumble match, it was clear he wasn't 100%, and many speculated the dead man would finally say goodbye to the WWE Universe for good at WrestleMania 33 in his last match. After losing to Roman Reigns in a hard-fought battle, he put his signature coat and hat back on, whilst receiving a tremendous ovation from the crowd. He would then solemnly take off his gloves, hat and coat, neatly leaving it in the ring. On his way out of the ring, he hugged and kissed his wife Michelle McCool, raising his arm possibly for one last time at the entrance. Taker didn't need to say goodbye to the fans, but his actions spoke louder than words, being completely out of character and thankful for his support throughout the years. Number 4. His off-the-record interview. It's rare, but The Undertaker has appeared on a number of interview chat shows since his WWE debut. In fact, his first appearance off WWF cameras was in 1991 on the Regis and Kathy Lee show, but he was fully immersed in character with Paul Bearer doing most of the talking. We also witnessed the infamous 1997 interview in Kuwait, where The Undertaker was not exactly in his wrestling attire, but still kayfabe in character. So was Vader in fact. However, in a 2002 interview with Michael Landsberg on Off the Record, The Undertaker, who at the time was wrestling under his American badass persona, seemed extremely relaxed and out of character as he conducted the interview. He didn't even give the interview in his deep gravelly voice, but spoke normally. Since this was still the Attitude Era, well, towards the end of it, it was shocking to see The Undertaker in such a normal interview. Taker spoke of the time Shawn Michaels nearly refused to lose the championship against Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 14, and mentioned, if it hadn't been done the way it was done, it probably would have been a very long night for Shawn Michaels. Number 5. Giving respect to Jeff Hardy. As one half of the Hardy Boys, Jeff was arguably the most popular at the time out of the two, and in 2002, he got the opportunity of a lifetime, facing The Undertaker in a one-on-one ladder match on Raw for the undisputed WWE Championship. Fully embodied in the live for the moment ethos, Hardy sacrificed his body until it was black and blue, not showing any signs of quitting against Big Evil. Jeff would come close to winning the championship, ascending the ladder as Jim Ross barked one of his best calls ever: "Climb the ladder, kid, make yourself famous." However, it wouldn't be enough though, as Taker grabbed the belt with the championship safe in his hands from a grueling match. As Jeff Hardy staggered to get back to his feet, The Undertaker was just about to head back to the locker room. But upon seeing Hardy's determination to recover, he returned to the ring, giving Hardy a last ride for his troubles. Still, a tenacious Jeff Hardy told Undertaker he hadn't broke him. He's still standing. Taker would head back to the ring once more with the intention of giving Hardy another butt whooping. This time, however, Taker was hesitant, and an uncharacter-like Taker instead gave respect to Hardy, raising his hand. Number 6. His shoot promo on Raw. During the rise of the Attitude Era, The Undertaker came out on Raw in something he had never done before, coming out in plain clothes with no music or makeup. He grabbed a mic, explaining his loyalty in the face of other champions, Vince's hand-picked champions who couldn't cut it and left for bigger paychecks. Interestingly enough, he started the shoot by talking about all the crappy giants Vince had made him wrestle because he knew his hand-picked champions couldn't cut it. Admittedly, it was a work shoot, but it was the first time many wrestling fans saw the Phenom totally out of character and shooting on camera about how Vince had treated one of his top guys in the business. Number 7. His pyro accident. Pyro is no more in the WWE, but not due to safety reasons, more cost cutting than any other reason, as it's normally safe and under control, but things can certainly go wrong. In 2008, The Undertaker came close to a near fatal accident with pyro at the WWE Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Taker made his way down to the ring in his usual dark slow entrance that we all love, with flames shooting from the ground. Well, something went horribly wrong and his face was burned. He was forced to run to the ring and had water thrown all over him off camera. When he was in action, you could clearly see the burns, but announcers did not mention the accident. Number 8. Exchanging words with Brock Lesnar. In 2010, Lesnar lost his UFC Heavyweight Championship in a stunning defeat by Cain Velasquez at UFC 121. As the vanquished champ exited the octagon, Ariel Helwani happened to be conducting an interview with The Undertaker.
Right there. You want to do it?
The pro wrestler challenged Lesnar just inches away from his bloodied face. Of course, as we all know, Lesnar accepted the challenge, returning in spectacular fashion, defeating The Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania 30. Number 9. Granting a young fan's wish. There's not been many moments surfaced online of The Undertaker's softer side. In 2010, however, a video made public on YouTube showed The Undertaker's more caring side, making a little girl's wish come true.
I like it. You're gonna put that sign up tonight? But right now I'm having a hard time finding anybody that wants to wrestle me tonight.
Don't be volunteering daddy over there.
No, we don't want to do that.
And number 10. Ending the streak. At WrestleMania 30, The Undertaker broke his character in a way that none of us ever imagined happening. As we mentioned earlier, his act had been synonymous with the WrestleMania undefeated streak for well over 2 decades. However, the unthinkable would happen at WrestleMania 30, as Taker broke with the very biggest thing that half his character was built upon. When Taker stood back up after the defeat, he certainly wasn't the same character who'd gone into the contest. The man stood in the ring at that point was just plain old Mark Calloway, as shocked fans respectfully started to cheer at a record that probably no wrestler will ever beat. Well guys, there you have it. 10 rare moments The Undertaker broke character on camera. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.